Alexa, please play songs from Spotify. God, I haven't done this in ages. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I thought I would transform this mess on a dreary Sunday. I'm still in my pajamas, got my cup of tea, and I thought I would show you a transformation I did on myself a couple of weeks ago. I know I always use the Jenners and Kardashians. I just find their makeup artists to be insane. Like, they do the best glam makeup and they make it look almost like you're not wearing anything. If you haven't seen I did Makeup by Ariel masterclass, which is Kylie Jenner's makeup artist. I basically recreated the look that he taught us in his masterclass, so I will link that down below. This is the look that I recreated the other day. Thought I would recreate it for a tutorial. I know I'm breaking out at the moment and I realise I have textured skin at the moment. Like, let's be real, everyone has texture on their skin. Been in lockdown, haven't seen sunlight for a while, so it's probably just everything in between. Anyway, who cares? It's not about that today. So the first thing you want to start off with, I'm going to show you how to do the hair, and it's to have straight hair, or you can do this with curly hair, it doesn't really matter, but in the photo she had straight hair, so I'm just going to pick up my straighteners and just show you what I did a second ago for the video purpose, you know. So I'm using the Cloud9 straighteners. I've actually had these for years, but yeah, these are really good. I'm gonna put a bodysuit on because she is wearing one in that photo. So this is the bodysuit that I'm wearing. Bought it from Misguided, so I'll link it down below if it's still available. If not, I'll link something really similar if you want to pick it up. For the hair, she had like two little bits kind of hanging down from like a middle part. I'm just going to make sure my middle part is okay. You kind of like go in the center of the nose to find. It was a bit wonky, it was a bit unsteady, but okay, that'll do. And then she left like probably just like that much down, and then all of it kind of up here was just like scraped and taken back. So I'm using like a teasing comb to get like a smooth finish. So I tried to use some of those clear bands, but it honestly just like ripped half my hair out. So I've got just like normal, just these like normal bands. And I'm going to use a bit of hairspray. This is the Got To Be Glued hairspray. Just going to smooth that down. And then, if you can see, just going to tie it here. Don't really want to pull on it too much because it will then pull bits out. But yeah, just like that. Let's do the other side. This side of my hair always has more baby hairs because I've got my scar this side of my head. And then I'm going to tie it up. Okay, so this is pretty much the hair done. It's honestly such a super easy and quick hairstyle to do, and it's actually really cute. I feel like you could pop some clips in the fringy bits if you want. So I'm going to pop these behind my ears and just pop my hair back whilst we do the makeup. Going on to the makeup, recently I've just been really lazy. Whenever I say that, it basically reminds me of the TikTok that's like, I'm lazy. So funny how like TikTok just takes over like every reference that you make. So I've been using a stencil at the moment, some brow powder, and then just like a pencil to do my brows. I have been doing like the whole soap brow thing, but I do find sometimes I will get like a layer of soap here, and even though I wipe it off, it still looks a bit like flaky. So I just feel like some looks I like it. If I'm doing like natural looks, I love a bushy brow, but then other looks, if it's something like this, then I'll want to do more glam brow, and Kylie always has a glam brow. So for this, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Duo Powder in the shade Taupe. Also, ignore my nails, okay? I tried to become a nail technician in quarantine, but it just didn't work out. So I like using the Dose of Colours shader brush. It looks like this, so it's quite a fluffy brush, and all I do is this is the High Arch stencil from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I just kind of do like a rough idea of where I want my brows, and then I take the darker shade and I just pat in, just because I'm lazy and and it just like gives you a like stencil to kind of work with. See how that just kind of fills it in softly, and then I can go and actually like shape it. And I've been using the Precisely My Brow from Benefit, and I use shade 3.5. I prefer MAC spoolie, so this is the spoolie that I use for my soap brow, and then I just kind of shape the brow more to like my actual shape. Okay, so then I will grab some concealer. So I'll just use the concealer that I'm using on my eyeballs, and I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Latte concealer. Just gonna whack some on there, and then I will take my... Also guys, I'll tell you now just in case I don't do an intro, but basically what I'm gonna say in all my makeup tutorials is that like I just can't show my personality in a makeup tutorial because I'm concentrating too much. You either get personality or you get crappy makeup, or you get good makeup and just like crappy personality. Like I feel like when I do a makeup tutorial I'm a bit like a cardboard cutout, a bit stale. So if you want to see personality, please go and head over to my vlogs where I can chat to you more, and it's a bit more like you get to know me. I kind of talk about more personal things. I find it hard to multitask. Anyone can tell you that. When I'm on the phone to someone and I get distracted, I'm like a magpie. And I'm just going to blend that in on top of my eye. Okay, and then recently I've been doing this trick. I don't know if this is bad for you, it probably is, but you know, it's getting a little spoolie and some hairspray, and just especially this one, this is like glue. Yeah, so spray the brush a little bit and just brush it through your brows as you would brow gel. It does dry quite quickly, so you've got to work quite quickly with it. And then I just kind of like press it down, and honestly, they are now like stuck in place. So yeah, that's a cute little trick. But look, that from that. I also did shave my brows off, which you can see in one of my vlogs. But yeah, so I am going to quickly do the other one off camera because otherwise it's boring, and then we will get stuck in to this makeup look. Okay, so both brows are on. Now for eyeshadow. I just want to have a bit of a play today, and I've been staring at this Charlotte Tilbury Desert Haze palette. I feel like I just kind of love the colours in here, so I think I'm just going to play with those today. So the first brush I'm going to go in with is the Morphe 504 brush. This brush is honestly amazing for blending all your kind of transition shades. So I'm going to go in with this top shade up here. It is a little bit too warm, that shade, so I might mix it with the bronzer that I'm going to use today. So this is the bronzer that I'm going to be using later on. This is the NARS Zen bronzer, so it's a little bit more cool tone, so I'm just going to kind of mix those two together, and I'm just going to shove it in to like the outer corner and then up into the inner part where my nose connects to my eye socket. And I'm going to drag it out quite a bit because she always has like a smoke to her look. Then to kind of blend out the brow bone bit, I'm just going to take a smaller brush and just blend that in. So then we'll use, this is a Morphe M433 brush, and I'm going to take the shade just below the one that we've just used, and I'm going to pop this on the outer corner and going like up from my lash line, just from like halfway, just to give us like a lift, and then connect it into the crease and just buff it in. Cool. So I'm going to finish off this eye with you, and then I'll do that one off camera just because it just saves time, doesn't it? So the eyeliner that I've been absolutely loving at the moment, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Feline Flick liner. It is so black, like I can't even explain to you. Like, look at that. I just love using it, and the felt tip is super thin and it's really easy to use. It's super flexible as well, like it's bendy, so when you're carving it up it will curve with it. So I'm just going to do a tiny wing, and I'm only going to connect it up halfway over my lash line. Her wings are never that thick either. Okay, so I lied, I went 3/4 of the way in. I feel like it never goes as well when you're filming. Just going to take a makeup wipe. I'm just using a simple one, and I'm going to wrap it around my nail and just clean up this line underneath. Just make it a bit sharper. And then whilst I'm here, let's pick up all the fallout. You'll be really surprised actually at how much eyeshadow does fall on your under eye. It's kind of why I don't do foundation. I mean, it is the reason why I don't do foundation first. Now I'm going to curl the lash. I mean, she has eyelash extensions, but I just feel like I'm going to put an outer corner lash on and use mascara. So the mascara that I'm using today is the Maybelline Push Up Angel Falsies Mascara, or Falsies Push Up Angel. I always say it the wrong way around. I've been using this mascara for years, and I feel like it just doesn't get enough height. I just love how it like separates the lashes, but then like really coats them. Some mascaras that are like spiky, kind of like takes forever to build up some mascara on the lash, whereas this isn't, you don't have that problem with this. I love like forcing my inner lashes to go like in, because then when I put an outer corner lash on, it like elongates the eye and makes it a little bit more cat-like. Do you see? And then I'll do the outer corner bit. I also went and bought a lash serum the other day. Not that I've started using it yet, but I really want to have longer lashes. Right, so then now I'm just going to whack on some outer corner lashes. My favourite lashes are the House of Lashes Siren Flares. I do believe they are sold out online, but I will link them if I do find them, and if not, I will link something similar. And I just cut them in half and use the front kind of 5 sections to the lash. This is what I mean by like the 5 sections to the lash, and this is just obviously the front half. You can keep the outer lashes if you want. Depends on your preference. I prefer like a smaller lash. I also really need to wait, and my camera is going to pass out. Honestly guys, I actually think I am going slightly mad in lockdown. I've been locked down for 5 months. I started lockdown in February because I knew this was, I actually saw it coming. Sounds really weird, but does anyone else feel this? Like, you get bad vibes sometimes and you can kind of feel what's about to happen. Like, you don't know it's gonna happen, but you can feel. I just had that feeling. Still in lockdown. Everyone's gone to the pubs this weekend. I am not. I'm not gonna be one of those people. Not that I think there's anything bad. I'm not ready, you know? Yeah, I'm just not ready for that yet. It's too soon, way too soon. I feel like it's going to take me 5 months to get like out of lockdown. I'm going to do the other eye off camera and I'll be right back to do the face. Okay, so both eyes are done. We are now onto the skin. I'm going to put a little bit of serum on just because I feel like foundation goes on a lot nicer when my skin feels a bit wet. And talking of, you guys know I love, sorry, I just got so excited then. You guys know that I absolutely love Tinted Spackle Makeup Under Primer, and for ages I couldn't get it from Laura Geller from the UK. I did find it though on a US website, and I bought it, and even though it did take nearly like 2 months to come, it arrived yesterday and it's in my quarantine pile, and I cannot wait to put it on my face. I am so excited. It was only the little bottle, but even so, I'm going to savour that and save it. Rambling on, I'm taking the Tata Harper Resurfacing Serum, just a squirt of that, and this is very spenny. This is probably the most spenny item I've ever bought, but again, it's worth it. It does feel lovely on the skin, and it's really, really good for you. It's got some great ingredients in it. So also I'm going to use the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. This is a lovely face primer. It kind of like just kind of helps to fill it in your pores, and then also gives you like a glow. So I'm just going to pop some onto this center of my face. So now that my skin is nice and like moisturized and feels a little bit slick and moist, I hate that word, but I'm just going to take the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and I'm in the shade 6. I'm just going to use a pump of that. I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics brush to pop it on. I'm going to start with the centre of the face and then work my way out. I have to say, this brush is quite new, and you know, like new brushes just like don't hit the same. I'm going to take another pump. I feel like it's eating up all my foundation, which is what I mean by like new brushes. I feel like you need to give them like time to kind of work in, if that makes sense. Not really too bothered about the like blending it in properly, because I'm going to go in with my sponge in a minute and like stamp it in. Put some on my neck. So I'm going to just use my sponge. I'm not going to take any more product, and I'm just going to start really buffing that in and blending that in. Ariel honestly blends for like half an hour, which I'm not going to do because I'll end up with a severe migraine, but the key is pressing it into the skin. I think you kind of just do it until it starts to like dry into the skin. Then I'm going to go in with Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Warm Beige. And I'm just going to take honestly the teeniest amount, and I'm going to pop this just like on the areas that I'm breaking out, which is pretty much all over my face, but it's just going to add a little layer of coverage. I don't really want to add like masses of concealer to my face. So recently I've actually been obsessed with using this. It's the only thing I've been using on my under eye area for my colour correcting. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Medium Colour Corrector, and it's honestly the perfect shade. I don't know if you see that salmony colour. It's the perfect shade for colour correcting. So I just take, my hands are cold, so whenever my fingers are cold, which is a lot of the time I'll just take a little brush like this. This is the Zoeva 142 brush. I'm just going to pop that on underneath my eye. You honestly don't need a lot. It kind of gets rid of that like purpley, like bluish undertone, and it just kind of makes it a little bit more neutral. So like when you go on top with the concealer, you won't be able to see all of this. So I have been absolutely loving this. They do different shades as well, so if you are fairer, you can go in with like a fairer shade, and then they also have a darker one also. Right, so this is the NARS Laguna bronzer, and I absolutely adore this. Oh, it's normally a bit liquidier than that, but anyway, just going to pick that up on my Dose of Colours. This is tapered blush brush, and I'm just going to pop some where I would contour to warm up the face. It's just like a really, really beautiful, like soft, like contour colour. It's not too warm, it's not too light. I like that it's not thick, but it's still really pigmented because it means you're just like not adding too many layers onto the skin. And it has got tiny little specks of shimmer, so it does give you like a bit of a glow, but not like too much. I'm just going to contour my nose. Now for the concealer. The two concealers I'm going to be using today are the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealers. This one is Ginger and this one is Honey. Honey is a little bit more pink, so it is almost a bit like a colour corrector. Just kind of want to like add a little bit more of coverage and correcting. Like two little lines like this, just one of each colour. Mix it together and pop it on in this inner corner section, because in a minute I'm going to use a lighter shade. Something else. Taking my little beauty blender and just patting this in. I just love this concealer. I feel like I haven't found anything else almost quite like it. It's just really natural looking on the skin, but it gives you like a nice coverage. I do find though I have to, for my under eyes, wear a corrector underneath it, and then I will go in with a lighter concealer, which I'm going to use Custard. And I'm going to pop the lightness and brightness here, and then in the centre of my face, and maybe a little bit on my chin. So I saw a video on YouTube, and they put their concealer here, and it like gave them an instant lift. I don't know if that's worked, but she used a thicker concealer, so maybe that's what I need to do. I suppose it has. It's like lifted my outer corner, and then I'm going to pat in the rest. Cool. So then now, I'm going to powder the under eye. I'm going to use this. So this is the Fair Ben Nye powder. I absolutely love this for under eye baking. So I'm going to take my little beauty blender, pick up some of that powder, just tap off the excess on the back of my, well, the palm of my hand, and press this in under my eye. And then I'm going to take a bit more and leave a bit under here to bake and brighten. And then for the rest of my face, I'm going to take this little puff from She Glam and my MAC Medium Plus powder. And I'm just going to stamp a bit on the powder puff and just pop it on the rest of my face. Then now I'm going to powder with my Hoola bronzer. This is my Zoeva 108 face brush. I'm just going to, I don't want anything too warm, that's why I've gone for Hoola, because Kylie doesn't really have super warm skin. It's all very fresh and like pink blush and just neutral bronzers. I just love this bronzer. You know, like when you just, oh, I was supposed to use my NARS one, because I can add some on top. So I mean, you always reach for like your go-to bronzers, don't you? But I can contour my nose as well with this one. So this is the Zen one. It's pretty like similar. It's like really neutral, which is why I picked it out. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do my nose contour with it. I'm just going to use this. This is not the one that I normally use, but we'll go with it. It's the 221 Zoeva brush. And I'm just going to pop some on the end of my nose and then also down here. And then I'm going to take a flat brush, just make a shadow here to kind of like cut it off and make it look a bit cute. Then whilst we're on the nose, the only place I'm going to put highlighter on my face is going to be my nose. Even though I like to wear it everywhere else, Kylie doesn't. She seems to keep highlighter just to this area, either on the eyes or on the nose. And I'm going to take my Becca Opal highlighter. It's like one of my absolute favourites. She doesn't have too much of a glow, just a little bit. We'll see, like that. I'm going to take my foundation brush, sponge, sorry, and just clean up that bronzer. I don't like a sharp line under there, I don't know, it's just not me. So I'm going to pat in the bake. I've found that like it's more beneficial than just like wiping it off. If you pat it in, then it really like brightens it up. I'm going to take that brush that we used on the lid, the Morphe 433 brush, and just pop whatever's left on the brush underneath my eyes. Oh, tickles. Because you just want a little bit of colour. You don't want anything too much. See, it just like warmed the under eye area up. And then I'm going to be taking the mascara and popping it on my bottom lash line. So Kylie is known for like a really pink blush. Recently, I have been absolutely obsessed with this blusher. It's the Laura Mercier Peach Blush. I know it's peach, but it actually is quite pinky. And it has a shine in it. You see that little bit of shine? So it kind of brightens up the cheek area without you having to put highlighter on. So I'm just going to pop my blush on and not put it, kind of like stop where my pupil is, because it will just make the face look a little bit more like lifted. See, it's added a bit of a highlight, a bit of a glow. So I'm just going to make this into a little mole. Gonna cover I have like an invisible mole here, so I just kind of like cover it. Then I'm gonna use my Kevyn Aucoin Unforgettable Lip Liner in the shade Carnal. And then fill in the outer corners. And I'm just gonna blend in using my finger. Oh, a trick. Actually, let me show you this trick. So I get a dark brown eyeshadow, any dark brown. Lightly pop it on a brush like this. This is a Sigma L04 brush. And I pop it in the inner corner of my eye, just ever so slightly. And it gives you that cat eye effect. I hope you can see the difference right now, but to me, I feel like it makes a difference. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Fussy Lip Gloss. Pop this on my lips. Cool, and I'm just going to clean up the edges of my lipstick. So you guys, that is it for this makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know down below what you want to see next, or like what other celebrity makeup artists you want to see me recreate their look. Just let me know down below and I will get onto that. Stay safe, and I will see you in my next video.